Data types in C# that we have primitive data types and non-primitive data types. Primitive data types here that is predefined by the programming language is already defined. The size and type of variable values are specified and it has no additional methods. And non-primitive data types, these data types are not actually defined by the programming language, but are created by the programs that we are going to create it. And they have additional methods that we can also create methods for it. And here you can see that the primitive data types, that the integers that we can use byte, short, int, long in C#, also can be floating point, float, double, or character, that the char, boolean, that the bool that we are going to use, non-primitive data types, that the classes we are going to use, interfaces, arrays, strings, and so on. It is data types, and also can be in some resources that the value type can be divided by 2, also that the value type and the reference type. It is also possible that you can see in some resources. Um, numbers can be integer types or floating point types. And byte, it is 8-bit. It represents 8 bits in C#. Short, it's 16 bits. Int is 32 bits. And long is 64 bits. And also that the float is 32 bits. Double is 64 bits. And decimal also that you can use in C#. Yeah, these are data types and how we can create, how we can use it. Yes, it is in C# that we can use like this, or simply that we can use directly. We can assign the value and then we can use it. That the sizes, of course, that the int, yeah, int 4 bytes, long 8 bytes, and so on. That you can check it if you need, and the numbers, that the integer and the floating point numbers that we are going to use, booleans that can take that true or false as a value. Yes, here that it will output true and outputs will be false, that we are going to use in most cases that in conditional testing, that the boolean. Um, that the characters, yeah, it takes just one character, and we are going to, if you want to use and assign it, that we are going to use it between single quotation. um, it is also that we are going to use this data type, that the string, it is another data type, a very important data type, and that we are going to use it everywhere that I can say. It is value between double quotation. Any characters that you are going to write between double quotation, it will be string and it will be assigned to variable name. Then end of the line of end of the statement that we are going to use semicolon in C#. Type case casting is very important, of course, in C# and in all programming languages. In C# that we have two type of casting. First one of them is implicit casting, that automatically converting a smaller type to a larger type size. But it's important thing that need to be convertible type. If it's not convertible, then we can get error. It's important. Yeah, of course that it's implicitly that the from char from smaller type to larger type size. For example, char can implicitly cast type cast to int, from int to long, from long to float, from float to double, or directly from int to double, for example. It's possible, and it is automatically typecasting that we can use in our application. And another type of the typecasting is explicit casting. It is manually, and it is converting to a larger type to a smaller size type. For example, from double to float, from float to long, from long to int, from int to char, or directly from double to int. If we want to convert the value from double to int, and then we have to implicitly convert it. For implicitly converting that, we are going to use that. We have several ways that we can use, some methods that we are going to use. Yeah, we are going to see now about it. Okay, let's see here that you can see that my int, it is integer and it has 9, value of 9, and it is implicit casting, example of implicit casting. And here we created another variable. It is my double. It is double, that the type of the variable is double, and we assigned this my int, this value. We try to assign to this my double, and it will be automatic casting. We don't have to convert it explicitly because int is lower than double, and because of that we can implicitly that it will the casting implicitly. And here that my int will be 9 and my double it will be 9 or 9.0 that it can maybe show. It is that we're converting that the value data converting from one to other. It is implicit casting. And explicit casting, when we want to convert larger size type to lower size type, of course that we need to explicitly type casting. It is first way that we can, for example, my double is this one, this number, this value. And then if you try to convert it to int, if we need to use as int, then we need to convert it explicitly. And it is a way that int, and then this value will be 9. It is will take the uh, smallest that the before 9.78, before it the biggest smaller than 9.78, but the biggest value, it will be 9. Okay, it is first way that you can use in your code for explicit uh, typecasting. And another way is to use that the convert to method. We can convert to boolean, we can convert to double, we can convert to string, we can convert to int or any other values also that yeah, its string is here. But it's important thing, the value uh, could be convertible. If we try to convert not convertible value, then we are going to get an error about it. Let's see here. We have my int, it is 10, and we have my double, it is 5.25, and my bool is true. And then if we try to convert to string, that my int, it is this one, it will convert this number, this integer number, to string, and we can use it as string. Of course, that it if we try to if we write, for example, together with string, that the for example sum is string and plus my int, and then automatically that number to be convert to string. It is also possible. Later we are going to see some examples about it. And here that my int to be convert explicitly using convert to double here to double. And also exactly same way that we are going to convert my double, this value, convert to int. And here my boolean, my bool is this one, that to be convert with this one, with this method to string that we are going to use. We are going to see examples and you are going to use it much more time in your code. Any question until now or? Perfect. Okay, let's continue. Another way that the converting, that the typecasting, it is parse method. Yeah, it's int.parse or string.parse or datetime.parse. It's possible. It is converting a string representation of number to an integer. For example, here it it will convert to integer int.parse method. Here that we have string that the num, it has this value 10, but it is string. And if we try to convert it to integer, that the num2, and then we can use int.parse, and in parentheses that the variable or the number or value that we can say, and then it will convert to int in this example. Of course, that we can use with any other data types. It's possible. And yeah, int.parse method here in this example, it returns an exception. If it's sorry, if it's not string, cannot be converted. For example, if we write here, for example, a, not 10, a, just a character a, or any text, and it is not convertible, and we are going to get an error because the value have to be convertible to int in this example. If it's the value, if the value is not convertible, then we are going to get an error. Next week we are going to see how we can manage it. Of course, that basically that you can use if block, but also that we can use try catch block. Okay, try parse method. Another method is the try parse method in C sharp. Yeah, we are going to see the example and try parse method also that we can use with int, with date time, and so on. Here it will take two parameters. One of them it is the value that here you can see that the convert to what variable that we are going to convert, or value that we are going to convert. And the out a here, this one that the try parse for this example that the int, it will take this value. If it's convertible, yes, 12, it is string, but it is convertible, then it will return true. And of course that we can assign to another value, to another variable. It's possible that the local variable, we are going to see that tomorrow we are going to use it. Yes, this is that the typecasting try parse method. We are going to use it also much more time in our examples.